should be like you, Mel?
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome back. We are hopefully back to our regular Monday evenings by the looks of things. And also obviously joined by my co-host as always, Malcolm. Malcolm, welcome back. How you doing?
Hi, Ollie. Yeah, great to see you again, mate. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Good. Chris Hubble and Liam Humby already in the chat. So good evening to both of you.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us.
I think it's time to set some things straight, isn't it, Mal? I think there's been a fair amount of negativity. We'll get firstly, obviously, into the Brentford game as it wasn't the best result. Obviously, a couple of disappointing results in a row now, leading us to where we are on the table. But some things that I think need to be addressed and pointed out for sure. And obviously the Chelsea game tomorrow night. So no reason why we can't talk about that at the end. But lead me into it, Mal. 4-1 at the weekend. I know that obviously Brentford, I've always said, are my trump team specifically. So I wasn't expecting to necessarily go there and win 4-1. But definitely wasn't expecting to go there and lose 4-1. What happened?
What happened? Good question. Well, I blame Craig, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as he opened up on his Dean Court social, he said, we never win at Brentford. So there you are. That was it.
Yeah.
So, you start with the negativity before the game even kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
But, being realistic, come on.
Easy place to blame. Yeah.
Normally, playing Brentford is a very open game, and I always enjoy watching that, to be honest with you. Both good footballing sides when they're, when they're on their day. Mm-hmm. Very unpredictable. Could be drawn games mostly. I mean, they're generally very close, but I mean, what happened at the weekend was actually diabolical. I said to you before we came on air, at half time, I was absolutely disappointed because the non-performance, basically. If you wanted to be a little bit critical or even hopeful, I don't know. When that second goal went in, it was a little bit lucky, but Brentford deserved it.
Yep.
No two ways about it. They were far, far, far the better side, and really should have been 3 up at half time. To go in at 2 down, you got to take it on the chin. But what the hell was our defence doing? I'm sorry.
Well, I completely agree with you. I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. I think obviously we came out and initially we had a bit of a sniff, didn't we? First 5 minutes or so. And from after 5th or 6th minute, it was Brentford all over. They were
absolutely, yeah.
They were filling in behind our defence pretty easily.
So easy, yeah. It's just, it was a very, it wasn't a Bournemouth-like performance, certainly.
No, it wasn't. And they kept finding space, didn't they, for what felt like the whole of the first half, but especially for the first 20 minutes, they were consistently breaking in behind the defensive line. They kept finding a ton of space on transitions. And then obviously leading to, first goal 7 minutes, second goal 15 minutes. And it felt like we were kind of clinging on to survive a little bit, which isn't the Bournemouth that we know, or the Bournemouth that have started the season so far, which is why I want to break this down in a little bit more in a moment. But you're right. So, I mean, not just yourself, obviously, Iriola also said that you can't start the game at half-time, right? So
that's right.
We come back at half-time, we make a triple threat, 3 subs with...
absolutely brilliant what he did.
Okay, so you agree with that, and we come out in the second half, and then
we give it a go in the second half. That's all you can say. The game, for me, the game was already lost, right, at 2-0. But I just thought, come on, let's see what you can do then. You wasted 45 minutes doing nothing, and allowing Brentford to do whatever they wanted to do.
Yep.
And Donny made the changes. He got the right calls. I don't care what anybody says. He got the right calls. And obviously he must have said something at half time. And it was a really pretty solid second half performance. All right, we conceded 2 goals, scored 1. But that was always going to happen. When you're chasing a game, you're always likely to get one on the break. And that's what they did. So even at 3 down, I thought, well, it done that. But they just kept going and kept trying. And I had a lot more belief in what they were trying to do. Okay, it was a bit scrappy to get one back. But I think they earned it, to be honest with you. But we just got nobody. We got nobody. When you're up against a defence like that, how many corner kicks did we have in that second half? Now, I don't blame them going short quite often, but to hoof a ball in the middle there where you got these towering guys in the back of their defence, it's meat and drink for them, isn't it? So it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. Obviously, as you said, the second half was a lot better. We did concede pretty much straight after the restart. But again, that was a fast kind of build-up play that caught us off guard again, if I remember rightly. It was just Brentford's speed. Right. And I didn't know if I was confusing the 4th for the 3rd goal there. But I have got a shout out to, obviously, I know that this shouldn't be the case in the second half. Obviously, Evan Nilsson is supposed to get shots on target and supposed to put the ball in the net, right? But he's making Kelleher save shots, which is the least we can expect of him after a terrible first 5 minutes. We've obviously had Krupi on to start, which Evan Nilsson isn't going to like anyway. So he's going to have to start performing better. So firstly, shout out to Evan Nilsson because he did come out and put a bit more spring in our step. Semenyo, obviously, with the goal, seems to be that we can count on him pretty much most games to make an impact at this moment. But I think the talking point has to be Diakite and Senesi, right?
Very much so.
Depending on how you're looking at this, because there's opinions that I've had that Petrovic at the moment isn't up to standard, letting in pretty easy goals that are close to his feet, close to the post. I mean, we were saying just before the game, just before the podcast, right, that we've conceded, 20 goals in the last 6 games, and we're never going to win games by conceding that many goals. It's as simple as that. There's a couple of points in here I just want to come to, Mal. Bear with me.
Yeah, that's okay. Go on, mate.
Liam says, I hope you had a nice Xmas. We was rubbish at Brentford. Yeah, indeed we were.
You got that right. Yeah.
Good Christmas, mate. Yeah, hope yours was good too. Chris says, agree with you, Liam. It was a bad day for the team. Yeah, absolutely was. Sean, we wasn't strong enough to a player or close enough. I'm going to come back to this. It's a good point. And was it Andoni's change that made us better, or the fact that we were losing 3-0 and Brentford just defended?
Well, actually, we were losing 2-0 when we came out in the second half. So
that's right. And I think it's unlike Andoni to make a triple sub at half time. So I'd say, in this occasion, I'd say, it was Andoni's change that made us better. Probably 80-20. I'd say 20% of that is Brentford defending after the third goal, 51 minutes in.
Well, obviously, they're going to take their foot off the gas a little bit, aren't they, with 3? Yeah. I mean, 2-0, when you're 2-0 up, you can't. Not in the Premier League. No. Because if your opponent gets one back, they're back in it. So,
Yeah. Also says it's easier to get a shot against a team that is winning 3-0 and just wants to defend, even though they still wanted to score. Right. So this is the thing. You're absolutely right, Sean, in some of the things that you're saying. First half, we lacked intensity. There was no challenge to first or second touch. There was nothing in us that made it look like we wanted to win that game for some reason. And it's not the first time I've seen this in the last 5 games. So there's a lot of negativity around the performances and why we haven't been getting points on the board and why we've been losing games and why we've been drawing, blah, 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 blah. And I think people have been blaming the wrong things. I think people have been looking at management, recruitment teams, the coaching staff.
It's just a lot of, baloney.
Yeah. I think it's super important to remember that I think it was 8 or 9 games ago, we were top of the league momentarily at the Palace game. We've had the best start to a season we've ever had in the history of our club. And I just think it's super important to remember that we're still in this 5-year plan and we weren't aiming for Europe this season. So I understand the dreams and the goals and people wanting it. I get it because I want it just as much as the next Bournemouth fan. But that wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan if it happened, fantastic, it happened. We would have probably had to deal with it. But it hasn't, and it's not going to. So let's all take a step back, sit our bums back down in our seats, and understand that we're only about to go into the second half of the season here, and we've got a fantastic squad developing. A really fantastic squad developing. You're right. Again, I'm hearing the same thing about getting picked apart with our players and Semenyo going here and whoever going there. It's pointless. We had the same thing last season. We had the same speculation about Hudson and Kirkes and Zabanier. Same thing happened, guys. So we're just reliving the same concern and the same managed lack of what's the word here, Mal? Because I think it's important to understand that criticism comes from a place of not believing in what's happening.
Yeah.
And
I think, sorry to interrupt. Obviously, on the back of, dropping points, people do tend to forget, we've drawn 3 games in that period, right? So we haven't actually lost, all right? I mean, my glass is always half full, as you well know.
Yep.
Now, I didn't expect us to maintain our start.
Nope.
When everybody was going, come on, we're all going on a European tour and all that crap. I just thought, well, how can you say that? We were only sort of 7-8 games into the season. And I said at the time, the season is very, very long, and you cannot predict, how it's going to pan out after just 7 or 8 games. Look how it's changed.
Yeah, and the table is so close.
The point is to say, right, get behind the team, trust the process. Those people are in those jobs for a reason. Now, you could go to work tomorrow, even if it's from home, and you can make a mistake. So can they.
Yep.
They can make a wrong choice and say, oh, we want to get this player in, and it doesn't work. despite, what all the stats and everything says and that the players fit the bill for the club. But some players also need time.
Yep.
Now, looking at the bigger picture, all right, and I can't remember who I mentioned it to, but over the previous weeks, I don't know how many weeks now, but look at the players that got dropped out, either through injury or suspension. And every time it's been very critical to our starting lineup. Okay, so come on, Justin. Lewis Cook went out, didn't he? He got suspended 3 games. Who else went out? I mean, it's just crazy. We got Ben Gannon-Doak, right? Got injured on international duty.
Yep.
Who would normally, I would think he would already be in a starting 11 for us.
He would have definitely had more minutes. Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
Christie's been out again, injured. He's coming back. Yeah, so, and now we got Tyler Adams out. These are all key players in our system. Now, I think the biggest loss for us is Milos at the back. All right. So obviously he has to play Diakite. But does he? Why couldn't he put James Hill in there? Question mark. I mean, I'm not criticizing, I'm just throwing it out there that these are the possibilities. We've got Smithy back, thank goodness.
Yep.
So Jimenez can play forward a bit more. And to be honest, I love what he's doing. Watching Jimenez play, much improved.
Yep.
He hasn't got to worry about his defensive duties. Obviously, he does have to track back, but not as a fullback. So more as a wing back or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, there's still lots of positives around there. And I don't care what anybody says. For those Tav bashers out there, he was the only decent player we had on the park at Brentford. All right.
He's definitely had better performances recently, for sure.
If you don't believe me, watch it back. It didn't always work for him, but he was trying. His enthusiasm, his energy that he was putting in, really, good for him. It's just a shame that other players, didn't sort of take it on board.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if anybody realised it or heard it, but on the commentary I had, Efan Akuko was the co-commentator. And in the first half, he said that Senesi looked like he was running on treacle. So, and that said it all. I mean, that summed it up for me in that first half.
Yeah.
It really, why were they so slow? Why? It just, I just didn't get it.
It's not a new thing though, is it? Coming out second half, forming second half, having better second halves. This isn't news, essentially. Bear with me a sec. Liam Humphrey says, don't get the criticism of either.
Me neither.
I think that's a whole show on its own, Liam, to be honest, because there's a ton that we can discuss there in comparisons and why he should be in the team and why he shouldn't in other people's eyes, I guess.
Don't mention that to Craig.
Exactly. Sean says, sadly, I keep hearing other shows saying this is the worst we've ever seen, but it's like every week now. Yeah, unfortunately, you won't hear that from this show, Sean, because it's not the worst we've ever seen. I can definitely remember worse times with worse teams, with worse management, with worse football grounds. Every aspect of it being worse, I can remember vividly. Hang
on. So a fortnight ago, we drew 4-4 with Manchester United. We got a creditable 0-0 draw against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And that is on the back of a very poor performance against Everton. All right. So come on.
And
people.
Points being scooped away from us at Sunderland, essentially. So we've gone from...
Yeah, okay. But I mean, I'm just sort of going back partly just as an example. Yeah, so...
Agreed. Chris says, let's go and get back to winning ways against Chelsea tomorrow night.
Yeah,
and Sean also says, Don't worry. Probably beat Chelsea and Arsenal and lose to West Ham.
Don't say that.
Sean also says, question, and we're going to come back to this now. If you knew,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
We'll come back to it later. Liam says, agree with you, Mal, with everything you said. And also says, I haven't heard anyone fuss about Smith, just praise Tavernier and Jimenez, but thinking about it, I don't think he was at fault for the goals.
Well, Smithy is Mr. Reliable. I mean, he's, but as a defender, you see, this is the point. You need players up the field who are going to do more work, right? And like I said, Smithy's a legend, and he always puts in a good shift. But when it's not clicking, and then you want somebody there to grab it by the scruff of the neck and give it a go. Tav was the boy at the weekend. Yeah,
and again, and sometimes he is. Sometimes he does fill in.
It's not always the case. I know. Yeah.
Like sometimes it is Tav, and I've got to hold my hand up because the first, I'd say, 6 games, I wasn't the biggest Tav fan, as you well know.
And he
was always the first person for me to get subbed off the pitch. He was always the first person I thought that wasn't performing until he started to turn it around, I think, and he had some fantastic games. Started getting his goals, started getting his assists, and has really started playing well. What's more worrying or concerning, Mal? Is it conceding early again, or the lack of intensity until half-time again? Which one is more concerning at the moment? Which one we'd be needing to nail home and sort out?
Well, wouldn't it be nice to have a clean sheet in the first half?
Well, I mean, it's been a while.
I mean, obviously that would be, we did against Burnley, Chelsea, and even against Everton. It was clean sheet at half-time. But to concede so easily, that's the worrying trend for me. And I think, since the weekend, Andoni knows now that Diakite isn't going to start tomorrow in the defence. I really cannot see him starting. I think, to be honest with you, I think it's a mentality thing with him now. I'm not saying he's a bad player, don't get me wrong, but when you're lacking confidence, it just things happen on a pitch that shouldn't be happening. So I've got a feeling.
100% agree with you. 100% agree with you because again, the lad got thrown into the deep end in the hardest league in the world against the winners of that league from the previous season after 4 days from being in the country, and then we expect him to have a flawless season and not put any foot wrong. It was never going to continue going up from that moment, unfortunately.
No, but he's put in some really good performances, So
absolutely, yeah.
But people tend to forget that. They just look at his last game, when he has a bad one.
Yeah,
and this is the fan mentality, and it just shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, I think that people live in the moment, don't they? And they live. They've got very short memories when it comes to how we've got to where we are now, and what could happen. Like, let's please bear in mind, there's still half a season there to go. We were in a very similar position last season, except we were on less points, with similar amount of injuries, similar amount of players out, and similar speculation around our team being picked apart in January. So all exactly the same. All exactly the same.
Nothing changes. I mean, I haven't actually accepted some of the stuff on Facebook because there's been sort of rumours, if you like, about players coming to Bournemouth. Possible.
Yeah.
I won't post them on the group because basically it is just rumours, and we don't. We prefer to be factual in our group.
Yeah.
When we know that the news is pretty solid, then we'll say, okay, we can post that.
Well, there are a couple of other groups, aren't there, that have a lot of speculation posts in, like the AFCB.
Yeah, well,
fans.
that's what they do. That's what they tend to
Yeah.
do. They see them on other groups, and then they want to try and push it over to us to spread it out. But there's no truth in it. It's just rumor, and I think to be honest, there's a couple of players in there that I thought, wow, if that could happen, that would be nice. But I'm just holding back, say, look, come on. We've got another couple of days of this year to finish off, and then the transfer window opens. We all know what's going to happen, don't we? So it's we might as well hit on it while we're at it. That Antoine won't be staying with us. The question is, what are the fine details?
And this is why, again, so you say things like that, and I still don't believe these things necessarily, because I feel like it has to be a good fit between player and new club, right? And there's a ton of variables that can go into that.
Always. I don't look. If somebody puts something in the Sun or the Mirror or the Star, I just totally ignore it, right? I'm over here because I would never read the crap anyway, right? And you can't believe what they put in there. There are some, valid points that have been made. Okay, we'll throw it straight out there. Man City. They're the only club that have contacted Bournemouth about Semenyo and his agents and whatever, right? So all the others have jumped ship. They said, no, we're not going to, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, whatever. That's as we know of today. But the fine tuning, everything has to be agreed with the player as well. And if Antoine says, no, that's not for me, then it won't be.
And guess what? I guarantee you no one's going to rush. No one's going to go, let's quickly, people aren't going to want to do that and jump ship from Bournemouth if it's not the right opportunity.
That's right.
Because they'd be throwing away a big opportunity here. And I think everyone knows that. I'm
not saying he's not going. I'm not saying he is going. It's more than likely he will go. More than likely. Because obviously, if he's got the opportunity to get a Premier League title, Champions League football, he's coming up to 26. So how many more years is he going to have?
Well, now's the time. You're right.
Exactly. He's at his prime, and that would be for him a perfect move. Now, whether it's Man City or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Will he be a bench warmer?
Possibly.
Yeah. Look at Kirkies. I just say that. Look at Kirkies. Yeah.
Yep. Everyone thinks the grass is always greener. That's the thing.
Always. That's always the case.
And you can't be willing to jump corners,
No.
because it's not going to work in this game and in this industry. Look, I know you don't want to address it, but I definitely do want to address it because it's been bugging me. I'm sorry, Mal.
Yeah, and go on. Excuse me if I have a rant afterwards.
If you knew Andoni was definitely going in the summer, which we don't, Sean, and I don't know why anyone's bringing this up or we seem to think it, because I don't get it. Anyway, so if you knew Andoni was definitely going in the summer, would you change manager now to get a new manager? Whilst we also have the points as the not signing could be a problem, right? Firstly, no, I don't see the logic in rushing people in and out of the door for mid-season. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, firstly. So if we're saying that Andoni, because he's not signed a new contract, means that he should go now, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely an insane mentality, because why does he need to sign a contract? What difference does it make to fans, players, coaching staff, recruitment team, owners, if he signs a contract today or on May 24th for the next season? What difference does it make? It doesn't make any Scooby-Doo difference whatsoever to anyone, anywhere in the world. So I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand. This is one of the most frustrating points to me. I don't understand why there's a rush or a concern for Andoni to sign a contract, firstly. Secondly,
Stop.
Go on.
Since Andoni's been a manager, whether it's in Cyprus, in Spain, or in England, he will always sign his contract, a short contract. It won't be a long one. It won't be an extended thing like 5 years or whatever. It'll be a short contract, and he always does it before his current contract ends. He's never done it like in the winter coming up into the new year. Never.
No.
So come on, people, have a look how he works. It suits him best. And just because a fan says we need him to be committed, which I think is an absolute load of baloney, he is committed. He's doing his job. And just because some prat who hasn't really got a great idea of football and how it's run, how the club's run, gets an idea in his head and puts this narrative out that the manager isn't committed to the club. Sorry, on your bike, mate.
Agreed.
He will sort of round about the April time. That's when he'll sign.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's part of the 5-year plan. I think he will extend his contract.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why not? Is there any reason why not?
Yeah, I absolutely. I think the concern around it should be focused on football. The concern shouldn't be around contract.
Yeah, exactly that. Let him do his job. Let him do his job.
Now, the second point on that was if we did know he was going. So if we did know he was going, and he's openly said, look, not going to be with you guys next season. I don't understand what the difference is with keeping the points that we've got now or trying to harness what we could save if we were going to change manager. That doesn't make sense to me either. So I think irrelevant as to whether he signed the contract, not signed the contract, told us he's going to stay or not told us he's going to stay, whatever the bloody reason is, it shouldn't matter. It really, really shouldn't matter. And there should be a hell of a lot of stress and a hell of a lot of criticism aimed less towards Andoni at what is clearly a bloody tough time in the Premier League. So the logic to me...
Sorry, but we haven't had a better manager, have we?
No, I don't think we have. Not a better manager that has played with our team and created the ethos that we've currently got. No. I think Eddie Howe was close, and Eddie Howe built a fan base.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah.
Almost built the beating heart of the team of what we could be now today, right? You might be able to look at it that way with the historical events of back and forth and the -17 and the back and forth of the Prem, all these things. You could definitely say that he was a beating heart of Bournemouth. But Andoni has taken us to another level.
That's right. Exactly that.
And what is important at the moment is for us to maintain that. Because at the moment, we're not used to this next level. So we have to maintain it. Otherwise, I mean, look back at Pompey. Pompey always is at the forefront of my mind when I think about clubs expanding or pushing too far, too fast.
Yep.
You know, the bigger stadium, the input from investors, the entrance into European leagues, all this other stuff happening, right? And then next season, relegated and needing fans to get them out of a really, really terrible spot. No one wants to be in that position, and Bournemouth have been there. That's why we've got the bricks at the stadium with people's names on. Like, we've had this history. Like, we don't want to go back to that. So, yeah, I just think it's important for people to really think about where we are, right, and stop looking at the small things here and go, look at what we've built, look at what we're getting into, and instead of saying how shit everyone thinks we're doing, why don't we say, Diakite could be a problem. Let's take him out for a little bit. Let's just look at how we can fix this, rather than going, you, this, you know.
Yeah.
Frustrating. It's frustrating. But anyway, there's my rant, Sean. So I don't know if you stayed to listen to all of it, mate, but who knows?
Which thing, it's a topic that shouldn't be brought up.
I feel like you clearly stated months ago, over and over again, about Iraola's contract position, about how much he signs, how often he signs. We've had this discussion on this show numerous times, and I don't know why people are panicking. I don't get it. I think people get unsettled after getting into almost an unrealistic state of mind when they're seeing wins, and we get 3 points there, and those fans are scared of us, and we've become that team's trump card, and everyone starts to build up this picture, and then all of a sudden we get 3 draws and a loss on the bounce, and we're like, ha, the world's ending. No, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Like there is
exactly.
a lot. And there's a lot to the plan, and there's a lot of money behind it. You really think people are throwing money at the wall and seeing if it sticks and going, maybe Iraola will stay? Don't think so. I think there's a lot more organized risk, should I say, at this stage. Yeah. But take that as you will. Chris Hubble says, who would Bournemouth bring in the January window? Conversation for another day, Chris, but a very interesting one for sure. And Liam responds to that saying, getting a new goalkeeper, winger and defender. Agree with goalkeeper and defenders. I definitely think we're conceding too many goals, right? Simple as that.
So obviously, we need a backup keeper. A proven goalkeeper, all right? Let's put it that way, all right? Not. I mean, I know we signed Paulson and he's gone away again and whatever, but he hasn't been tried and tested, has he?
No.
So, and Dennis, he might get a game in the cup at Newcastle, possibly. Who knows? So we don't know what the possibilities are with him. Defender, yeah. Centre backs, mate. Although we got 3, obviously when somebody is lacking form or injured, it's only 2 spots to fill, isn't it? So then you're on bare minimum. Like I said, Milos is out. I don't know how long he's out for at the moment, but I'll have to check that out on the website tomorrow. But to have a really solid central defender. I mean, I can't understand why Senesi had the game he had at the weekend. He has been Mr. Reliable. He is putting so many good shifts. Now, whether it is because he's playing too far upfield, not really sure. But he has been a standout player, this season so far, and it sort of shocked me a little bit, the performance he put in against Brentford. So, all right, put him down to having an off day. Now, Diakite, yeah, he has. Like I said, I think he lacks confidence at the moment. He's had a bit of a knock with it, and he needs to be pulled off the pitch. And I think it was the right thing to do what Andoni did by taking him off, not only for the team but for himself as well. To protect the player, his mentality, his state of mind. Obviously, after the game, he will pull him into the office, and explain and have a talk with him, like all good managers do. All right, and they've got the backup staff there. The staff around all the playing squad. Not only physios, but psychiatrists and God knows what else. Everybody and all his teammates will say, "Come on, you can get through this." For whatever reason it is, all right. So it's no good hitting a guy when he's down. He needs to be picked up, and I'm sure he will. He'll come back stronger.
Yeah,
I'd like to see. I would like to see another central defender brought in. Definitely, that would be my.
I think
who it is, from where he is.
On your point on Senesi, what's annoying is it's noticeable. when he's not at his best, pinging the ball around. Like, it's noticeable when he's not playing his best. He looks terrible, which is
he does,
a real shame. Like, I don't know how he's one of the only players that has that trait of being like, well, the minute that he's not being Senesi, he looks uncomfortable on the pitch.
Bang average.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I can say the same with Diakite, because Diakite at his best is pretty good. But Diakite, when he's having a bad day, is terrible. Really crap. And I think there's a big difference there, and where we're obviously buying our players that haven't got Premier League attribution. You know, they don't have this intensity or this harsh mentality beasted into them like a lot of other Premier League players, I guess. But I'm not sure. Yeah. Paul from Oz, hi guys, just a couple of thoughts on the Brentford game. Arriving 45 minutes late doesn't help. Traffic, I guess. 15 corners, 14 in the second half. No outcome. Also, Christie on the bench, not fit. Paul from Oz.
Hi, thanks, Paul. Good. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we've sort of rattled through most of that. I think the reference there with 45 minutes late, it actually means they didn't turn up for the first half. That is the reference. What Andrew was on about. So
severe traffic by the sounds of it, Paul.
Yeah.
Now, my big question to you is, after last couple of performances and yesterday's starting 11 and then the subs that were made at half-time, Saturday, does Evan Nilsson start tomorrow against Chelsea?
Yes.
He does? Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
Interesting.
To be honest with you, I felt really, really sorry for Krupi of Brentford, because nothing was happening. It wasn't just him. And I mean, it was so disastrous, to be honest. In fact, it bordered on embarrassing, that first half performance, that Andoni could have more or less taken 9 players off, put the subs bench on. But hey ho, it's okay. We won't go down that road. But no, I think he'll start. I think Ever will start. I think Krupi will be on the bench. I mean, I didn't realise we could actually talk about the game tomorrow. I haven't got a clue who got fit. Is Alex Scott fit? Because he's taken another one in the face, hasn't he? So
he has indeed. Yeah, I know Christie's fit. Obviously, Clivert's back in now, isn't he? Cook
still not clicking for him, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. He's not. I don't know. Again, I think I don't want to make excuses for him, because I'm not about making excuses. But
no,
something you can tell. Something is awry. Like there's something not sitting right behind closed doors at the moment. And you can tell it from a number of places. Senesi, obviously not signing contracts, performance starting to go downhill while he was incredibly reliable, as you said. Diakite maybe feeling too much of that pressure, thinking that he's now one of the only centre-backs in the team. Maybe that's making him crumble a little bit. We've got Tyler Adams out. Is that making Clivert and Tav play a bit funky? We've got real spinal issues here with the team. It doesn't surprise me that we're acting in funky ways. It's going to happen.
I think it'll be okay. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. The game tomorrow is halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
All right. So where we are, points wise, great. Let's take it. All right. If we can get a draw tomorrow, or even go for a win, but I mean, obviously got to go for a win. Chelsea are beatable. I know they're 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever it is, but you can get out.
You're right. They're 5th, but they've still only won 1 in their last 5.
Yeah.
So
it's not as though that they're a team you've got to be frightened of. You haven't.
Nope.
You know, I know we used to joke, didn't we? Sort of go back a couple of seasons, we came up, you know, play Man City, play Liverpool, the free hits. All right.
Yeah.
Now last season, there's no such thing as a free hit. We went for everything, and it proved a point. So let's go at them again. The only team we couldn't beat home and away was Liverpool. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we give every team a game.
We did.
No reason why we can't.
Chris,
yes, Chris.
Chris says start ever against Chelsea. Yeah. And Paul from Oz says Bournemouth looked better with the 3 new subs when they came on, especially Brooks.
Definitely.
Having a very in-depth conversation with Andoni on leaving the pitch. Well, I think if there's anyone that's going to be having conversations with Andoni in his ear, it's going to be Cook and Smith, isn't it? Yep. If there's anyone walking off that pitch that's having words with things not working or things not gelling, it's going to be Cookie and Smithy, because they've been on that pitch 100 more times.
Experienced players.
Experienced
players,
exactly. So it doesn't surprise me. And bear in mind, they've got longevity with a lot of the coaching staff and a lot of the recruitment team. You know, with Frano being in the background, and I mean, Stanislas is part of the coaching team for the juniors. There's tons of our guys in the background there still. It's just Cookie and Smith that are still on the pitch. So
there's also the point Paul brought up, you know, with Brooksy. Yeah, I mean, he did look sharp when he came on. It's just like, you know, he should start, to be honest with you. I think so.
Agreed.
But you know, we're a little bit gifted with players up front, aren't we? You know, sort of behind them, if you like.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously have in Antoine. I mean, Tab, like I said, he put in a really good shift. Cliver, I still don't know what's wrong there. I'm willing him every game that he plays to actually produce something really special and be consistent. And that's what he's not at the moment. You know, he will have a good game. You know, he scored a beautiful goal, didn't he? I can't remember against him. But then it sort of drops off a little bit. You know, there's something. I know he gets frustrated when things don't work. You know, he's a very passionate player. But hey ho.
Yeah.
But the important is, you know, who's going to be the midfield. That is how they set up.
We will know much, much more from Thursday onwards.
This time tomorrow.
Yeah. This time tomorrow we'll be gearing up for it, absolutely. And fingers crossed for the Chelsea game, for sure. I've actually got root canal surgery tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'll be watching it.
You've got what?
Root canal surgery on my.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
fantastic. Put down in the mouth.
Yeah, which is always good. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. We will be back. Will we be doing cherry slaps on it? Maybe. Don't know. Not sure.
I don't know. I mean, I was surprised you called me today to do this one. So happy to do it. Of course.
Things off my chest after seeing so many negative comments. You know, and it's made me feel better addressing them. So
before we go, come on, look. He's put it up. He's put it up twice here.
Liam Humby, what do you think about Ladies' Cup not being at Vitality?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, to be honest with you. I looked at the fixtures we got as the men's team, and to say, you know, that it's going to affect the pitch if they play on it, it's not crap. There must be another reason for it, and to have it played at Southampton or Tottenham, you know, I just think that's a bit off. Yeah, I really do. Sorry, but you know, I did. Obviously, you know, it's put out on the Facebook group, and some of the comments, I'm just saying, you know, they're going into this equality garbage, you know, men and women. I don't buy that at all. There's enough time from Bournemouth's last game with the first team men's that the pitch would be okay, it'd be playable at the Vitality. After the women play on it, there's still enough time because the men's in 3 away games. Yep. So I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. There must be some reason behind it. Whether it's cost factor, I've no idea. But what an
Okay, should-
opportunity they had. They're playing Man City, the top of the WSL. Really, really brilliant side to watch. I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, I think it's a silly move as well. It can't be monetary related. It can't be. We've just banked 109 million quid off the last season. So it cannot be monetary related. It just
but
can't.
They can't say because of the pitch. Come on.
I know but you're right. I agree with you because again, that's an issue that you just throw money at, right? Even if it was a problem with the pitch isn't good enough 24 hours later. We don't have a game, as you said. It's not going to take that much for a Premier League team to sort the pitch out in a week. So teams have done it.
Look at our pitch. It's bloody brilliant. It is.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think that's definitely the standard of what we should have been doing for our ladies team. But we're getting there, right? We're slowly getting there. Let's think 2 years ago, we didn't even really have kind of a women's team accredited to the men's team, essentially. You know, it wasn't like they were won properly, was it, for forever up until a few years ago. So
before we finish off here, speaking of the women's team, somebody put up a post on the group which I accepted earlier, and I've actually done it myself. You can vote for Manager of the Month, Helen Blizzard. All right, just click on the link. It's on our Facebook page. Click on the link for the third tier Manager of the Month.
Nice.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You don't have to do both. I mean, there's tier 4 and tier 3. So I just clicked on Helen and then submitted it. So get out there, give her the vote. She thoroughly deserves it, to be honest with you. Absolutely awesome job what she's come in and carried on the good work.
Yeah. Awesome and fair play for shouting it out. That's definitely a worthwhile shout out for sure.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's good to be back. I'm heading into 2026 excited to continue doing cherry slaps. Please, everyone in the chat and everyone watching, glass half full, positive thoughts. Yeah. It's gonna be a good start of the start to the second half of the season, right?
Get behind them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the result is at Chelsea tomorrow. Let's look at next half of the season. We've got the second part coming up. It's 2026. We didn't think we were going to be here. Let's just stay positive and keep thinking that, all right? And
definitely.
We'll be back continuing to bring you your cherry slaps and maybe, if you're really lucky, some cherry AMs every now and then.
Well, there is the transfer window coming up, so we could have some.
Yeah, go on.
So we could have some content there. It won't be a daily, but it'll be put out on the Facebook group. You'll see when it's available. Hopefully, sort of give you 1 day's warning if you like. But there should be enough content there.
Absolutely.
And obviously, for the people that are watching, listening, whatever, who would you like to see brought in? It's okay to say maybe a goalkeeper. Do you have a specific player that you'd say he would really fit, our system? Obviously, they have to be available, but whatever. It is, it's good for interaction. It's good for
So,
conversation.
Agreed.
So, in case we don't see each other again, the Germans say "Guten Rutsch," so that's like slide good into the new year. Enjoy New Year's Eve if you celebrate it. I don't. I got my earplugs. They go in, and that's it. Yeah.
Usually, maybe we would have, but with the newborn this year, no.
Well, you won't. It won't be happening with you.
Not at all, mate. I have got some fireworks, so maybe I'd do the odd firework from the back garden.
Oh, no.
But
you do all that?
No. Again, I've never set off a firework in my life. It's only because Humphrey.
On your fingers.
We got bought a box of fireworks, so we're coming back like this.
I've heard people are camping out in Lidl car park here tonight.
Why?
Yeah, because tomorrow morning they go on sale here. You're bloody mental. They go really mental here.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it here with New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised.
Used to be a fun time, but I suppose, am I getting old?
Once upon a time, is that what you're about to say?
No. All good.
Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Morning, so we will see you next time. Enjoy the Chelsea game tomorrow. Up the cherries, and have a great evening.
Cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.